Hello guys, my name is Armin. In today's episode learning Bluebeam, I want to show you how to use the search tool in Bluebeam. If you're looking for the certain words in a many pages in your specs or drawing, this is the tutorial for you. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the text versus image, the difference between those two, and how you can use them properly to find your desired word or image, such as specific word in your specification drawing, or a plumbing fixture, electrical fixtures under drawing. And also I'm going to show you how to select all of them and check them, create a hard link, create a highlight, or use the check mark. So without further ado, let's jump to the Bluebeam so we can learn. But if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like.
In today's episode, learning Bluebeam, I want to show you how to leverage the search tool. If you guys sometimes, facing a bunch of specs, it's a thousand sheets, or even the drawings, and you're looking for a specific word or specific sheet number or the item that you need to find it. So what we can do over here, I want to show you how to use the search set if you want to go through the document, folders, markups, and much more, and what's the best way to find them. So we're going to use the search tool, which is going to be right here, looks like that. If you do not have it, you can go to the tool tab on the toolbar all the way to the customize. This is where you can basically get all the toolbars. You can customize it, bring whatever you want and add. If I go to all the way down to S, you can see the search. So you can basically kind of add the search and bring it over here and use it if you don't have it. But by default, you should see the search in your toolbar in your Bluebeam. So let's just select, see what we have. So there's like two options right there. One of them is search for the text, the other one search for the visual or image. Some people use this visual to even find the text. By the mean is, let's say they have something like this, like 16 by 31. They take an image of this, but the problem is if you take an image of the 16 by 31, it's only show the image that looks like that. It doesn't recognize the difference between 14 by 22 or 16 by 31. It basically gives you everything. I'll show you guys how it's gonna look like, so you'll be able to kind of differentiate how to use text versus visual or image. So the visual or image is better works with fixtures. So if you have a plumbing sheet, you're looking for the certain fixtures, that's the best way to use it, or a specific type of diffuser or specific type of lighting. You can kind of, if there's an image or the shape of it, it's going to be easier for you to kind of use the visual. Let's just go through the text. Right now, I want to identify all the W14 by 22, which is going to be all of these guys right there. If you can see, you can type the name, whatever you want to look for. The drop down is going to tell you want to go through the current document or you want to just look at the current page. We want to do current page. You can also, if you have multiple document open, it goes through all of them. If you have some recent file, you can select all of those. If you have specific folders, it can go through the folders as well. And when you select the folders, this is going to be on in the options, and you'll be able to basically go through the subfolder as well. So you make sure you check the search pages. If there's a recent file, the file names is going to be on, so you can kind of identify what type of name you're looking for. File properties, if you have a PDF forms, it's going to go through all the fields on the form and identify the text for you. If you want to make sure it goes through all the markups, there's like a bunch of markups right here, and you want to look at the like look for the specific text in the markups, make sure that one is checked. Case sensitive, if you want to go with the lower letter or capital letter, it's kind of depends to use it. I never check it, I just want to basically go through it and find the items for me. So let's just hit search. It's gonna take a second. You can see this is all of on all of these page. It kind of identifies all of these items for me. Most people kind of click on it, it gets highlighted like that. So like they basically click on these and you can see it gets highlighted. But the best way that I'm using is I'm basically selecting all of these items that I want. I go to the check option, which is going to give me a bunch of good options to use. So one of them is going to be if you want to create a hyperlink, you can use that and you can link these to a different page that you can jump to whenever you click on them. If you want to pick a certain or select a certain text and redact it, you can kind of use this. You select all of them, hit mark for redaction, and basically redact the text. If you want to apply any of these check mark or anything that you have, you can use it. If you want to highlight, you just click on it. It basically highlights everything for you real quick. So you can see easily I can find out all of the W14 by 22 all around this area, and everything is going to be identified for me. So the next one is if you even want to change your mind and replace this 1422 with something else, you can simply type over there, hit OK. It's gonna replace it and highlight the, let's say, 16 by 31 or any other item that you want. So let me just kind of go through another one for you. So right now let's just do 16 by 31. I want to just do just only let's just do it on this page for the this. Okay, there you go. You can see all the 16 by 31. So right now I'm going to select all, use the check. Right now let's just check these. So you can see when I check it, it's easily checked all of those 16 by 31s for me. So this is basically that's the fastest and easiest way to identify a text and highlight it or check mark it or any other item that you guys have. You'll be able to use it. And just want to show you the difference between these. So this one, if you notice, this is all identified in one sheet. So if I select the current document and hit search, right here it's going to show the result. You can see it's basically going through this whole document to identify 16 by 31. And if I scroll down, you can see right now it's basically telling me everything on all the other sheets. So it's basically you can kind of define where exactly you wanted to look for. So let me just kind of show you what I was talking about by image. So let me select over here. So for the image, basically you have the opportunity to get a rectangular around, let's say this one. So this is not a correct way to show it, and I want to show you guys what is the difference that I was kind of trying to tell you, or why it's not a good practice to use the image or visual for finding a text. So when you select any item, it basically show it over there. We kind of follow the same thing just for the sake of this exercise. I'm going to select this one. The sensitivity, I always leave it over there. The more sensitive, the more accurate, basically exactly. But for the shape or image, just leave it on the lower sensitivity, but make sure you have the rotation on, because let's say if you have a light has vertical shape, if that light shows on the plans and the horizontal is not going to pick it up if you make these rotation unchecked. So make sure everything is checked. So if that shape is placed in any angular rotation, has a different rotation on your drawing, can be picked up by Bluebeam. And make sure you filter by the color, selection, markups, and much more. Okay, so I'm gonna do a result. Is gonna go through it and let's see what it's gonna give us right now. So I basically told identified the 21 by 93, right? So it basically picked 21 by 93, but if I go down here, you can see it just picks like 24 by 68, like every single one of this basically show it to me. And the reason is because for the image, it doesn't differentiate between the text, like it doesn't know the difference between, let's say right here, 21 by 39 or 14 by 22 because it's not a text. You just kind of look at for that shape and with the different rotation and kind of picks everything up. So just make sure for the image you use it for fixtures. You are not using it for text because as you can see over here, it's giving you very inaccurate results. So the best practice for the images, we did talk about fixtures, right? So let me just go to a plumbing sheet. I'm gonna go to search, click over here. Let's just grab this one. Let me just do it a little bit bigger so kind of capture the whole. There we go. So, and I have everything. I'm gonna hit. I want to make sure I'm looking only at the scoring sheet, which is P2101. So see if you can only find, kind of pick the shapes that I'm looking for. So you can see it's kind of going through the result real quick, and as you can see, it's basically selecting all of these items, and I'm gonna sell, let's say, check market, and you can see basically it just identify all of those for me, and I can check mark, right? So it's better to use it to find the shape, and as you can see right here, it kind of figured that out but missed this one. And the reason is you can see the difference between these and these two. This one has a little bit like a pipe going through it. It's not accurate, so I would recommend, like, for this one, let's just do another one and then say search. Probably is gonna take a little bit. Identify, figure out that one. I can go and check that one. There you go. I get all the plumbing fixtures on this sheet. So as you guys can see, if the image is a little bit different, you gotta make sure you get all of them, as this example, because this one kind of shows the whole toilet fixture, and this one had this kind of pipe going over it, and it's kind of cut off a little bit of the image. It didn't recognize it. So if you guys can tell, the imaging is not where it's supposed to be, but it's still usable. You can use it. What I use it, I do not use it for finding any visuals. I only use it for finding a text, and very powerful. I basically go through all the folders for every single specs that I'm working on, or the drawings. It's gonna give me the result all the time accurately. But for images, I'm kind of facing these issues that you guys see, because sometimes gonna miss a few fixtures here and there, and the reason is because it's kind of distorted like that on the drawings, or the image is not printed well on the PDF, so it doesn't recognize it probably. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.